is going live. I would like to know that. Here I am going live on YouTube, trying to figure out what channel I'm on. Let me know in the comments below what channel is live, which channel is not live. I would appreciate it. How are y'all doing today? I would appreciate it. We will go. We will wait for somebody to join. You can leave a comment in the chat box. I would appreciate that. I hope I'm going live on my Philippine channel, but we are going to find out. And we don't know. So let me know. Streams of Philippine Dreams is live now. We are on the Philippines account. Yay, Yogi Yahui. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing in the Philippines today? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can. Can you see me? Real Tech Audio. Why is that not working? I think I need to change my camera. I think I need to change my camera. Webcam. Let me know if you can see me. How many people are in the chat box? None. Thanks for joining. You will watch me try to set this up while we are streaming. Customize, maximize. Mirror, mirror. On the wall. Design. I think I just disabled the camera. Welcome, my name is Tim. I appreciate you joining my live stream today. How are y'all doing? Orientation. I am going to see what I look like on my television. How does that sound? If you have any questions, leave it in the chat box. Look at that. Never miss a comment. Thanks for joining. I am live. I will see what I can do. Oh, it looks pretty good. Look at that. Never miss a comment. Not bad. I am live. I'm watching myself on camera. See what I can do. So, there you have it. Hey, somebody's watching me. Oh, I think I'm watching myself. Not bad. Let me know how you're all doing today. Leave a comment below. I will try to figure this thing out. Why is it not using my Logitech camera? I want to use my Logitech camera. Connections, Realtek. Interesting. Oh, it's because my Logitech camera is not plugged in. That's why. I cannot use my Logitech camera if it is not plugged in. Let's set this camera up and see what we can see. There we go. Uh-oh. There we have it. Connected camera. How are y'all doing? Thanks for joining. Leave a comment so I know who's watching me. I know somebody's watching me. Somebody's watching me. Sounds, microphone, default microphone, Logi. Hello. How are you? Who's watching me? What topics do you want to talk about today? We can talk about any topic you want. I just started my live stream. That ain't right. Logi. Vlogger's Dilemma. That's the title of my live, is Vlogger's Dilemma. Circular 2025-01. Privacy Commission. Look at that. How are y'all doing? Add a screen. Media. Camera, media. Slide, screen. Let's add this one. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What if I do this? Interesting. How are you all doing? Oh, look at that. That is awesome. Awesome Blossom. Hello, how are you? We are live with Restream here in the Philippines. Please leave a comment in the chat box below. I'm just watching myself. Interesting. How are y'all doing? My name is Tim. Thanks for liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. I do appreciate it. When more people join, we will go over Circular 2025-01, which seems to be upsetting a lot of YouTubers here in the Philippines. If you have any comments about it, let me know what you think. I would appreciate that. I would appreciate it. We can make it a little bit bigger. What about, we can make it actually really big. Really, really big if we want to. Let's see what this looks like. There's a delay. Oh, there we go. Oh, it looks not too bad. So if I go over here, interesting. How are y'all doing? It kind of looks just like that. I wonder if I do that. If I do that.
There we go. I think that's better. What do you think? Do you want to talk about Circular 2025 or not? Everybody's worried about it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Oh, there we go. How are you doing? I'll wait a little longer for some more people to join. And then we will talk about it, or we'll talk about anything else. Anything you want to talk about, I would appreciate. Well, if anybody has turned their television on, if anybody's interested in YouTube, you've probably heard about the new vlogging guidelines here in the Philippines. And that's what you have in front of you. Circular 202501, dated May 26th, 2025. And it seems to be getting a lot of people excited about vlogging in the Philippines. Oh, look at that. Interesting. Very nice. Very cool. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Getting a lot of people. Yes, excited. You can hear me. Okay. So what the circular does is does a lot of things actually. This circular applies to personal information controllers and personal information processors. The use of BWC's body-worn cameras and ARDs, I think it's alternative recording device. And I think some people are confusing this. Body-worn camera is if I wear a camera on my body like this. Some vloggers do that. They strap a GoPro or some kind of an action camera to their chest and they drive their motorcycle around. I think that would be considered a body-worn camera. And then some people, like me, we take a phone or we take our action camera, we walk around down the street with it held in our hand. Those are classified as ARDs. Even your cell phone is considered an ARD for the purpose of this discussion. So this new circular, which was released May 26th, for the purpose of circular personal, family, and household affairs. So it's kind of excluding. If you're making videos of your personal family and sharing them with only your personal family, this guideline really doesn't permit, it doesn't pertain to you. That's essentially what this section is saying. Unless, of course, you get an innocent bystander in the background, and that innocent bystander doesn't want their picture taken or their video taken. The following factors may be considered: dissemination of personal data to an infinite number of people. What that means is if you upload your videos to YouTube, TikTok, any social media, if you're using it for anything other than showing it to your family on your personal phone, that's kind of what that means. Processing may have adverse impact on the right and freedoms of the involved data subjects. That is subjective. Processing of potential data about data subjects who have no personal family or household relationship. That means if you catch an innocent bystander on the back of your family video, you would have to blur them out, basically. Here's a definition, section 2. They're defining terms. And this is the alternative recording device, a camera, system, or other than a body-worn camera that is capable of creating. So that means pretty much anything, handhelds, your phone has a camera, anything with a camera on it, or recording device, really. Sound, I believe, is also included. Digital cameras, mobile phones, action cameras, smartwatches, body-worn cameras. So this circular actually pertains to companies, maybe security companies, where their security officers are walking around with a body-worn camera. So that's also included in here. But there's a special section for vloggers, and that essentially is anybody who uploads their stuff to YouTube and makes it public for the world to see. So here's a data custodian, police operations. So metadata. So what they're saying is that as the world evolves, digital data includes a picture of your face, because there's a lot of things nowadays that you can access via biometrics. I know a lot of cell phones, you have to use your thumbprint to access. They are starting to move to accessing things using a picture of your face. Put your face in front of the camera, and it will act as a security code. And I think that's the reason they're making this law, is if you start recording and videoing all these people, and you could theoretically access some of their personal data if you take a picture of their face or a video. And if they have, I don't know, a bank account or immigration log-on ID, anything, some things you can access with your picture of your face. And I think that's really why they're doing this, making this law. Because if you're recording people and putting their pictures all over the place, theoretically, somebody could take that video of yours, they could download it, they could crop out the picture of that person, and they could access whatever that individual had accessible with his picture or her picture. So that's, I think, the major reason they are making this law. And it makes sense. It's just that it's creating a lot of heartburn for vloggers. So if you're on a government point of view, or if you're a private citizen point of view, and if you have a bank account or other things you're accessing using your picture, and you've got a random YouTuber walking around making videos and videoing you and uploading it to the world, somebody on the other side of the world could take that video, crop out your picture, and access your bank account. That's the simplest way to kind of look at why they're making this law. And here's number 8, vlogging. Vloggers who use body-worn cameras or any type of camera to capture the image, audio, or video of people for uploading, posting, or other may be deemed to be engaged in processing personal data. Personal data, essentially, they're defining as the person's image, the person's voice, because there are some things you can access with voice recording. I know my bank account, for instance, they made me say a statement, and they're using that recording of my voice as verification for me to log into my bank account. So there is voice recognition software out there. So these laws are put on the books for a reason. That's primarily the reason, because the world is ever changing, It's moving forward, and long gone are the days that you access your bank account by walking into a local branch, showing them your driver license and taking your cash out. You now can access your cash on a computer using your voice as a security code, using your picture. That's why these laws are there. And it's creating heartburn for vloggers, for YouTubers. So, where is the happy medium on these laws? The Philippines issued the circular, it's a guideline. They decided to uh, publish this and say, if you record someone, you need their permission. If you don't have their permission ahead of time, you can't get the permission after the fact. You have to have the permission before you record. And how can you get somebody's permission who's walking on the other side of the street while you're vlogging? How do you get their permission ahead of time? You can't. So if you don't get their permission, you have to blur out their face. And the reason you're blurring out their face is so somebody can't download that, crop the face out, and access that person's bank account. That is the extreme reason for these laws. Likewise, their voice. Same thing with their voice. So I understand why they're doing it. We are in the information technology area. We are in the computer phase of our life. 50 years ago, there was no computers and nobody had to worry about this. Now everybody has a computer, everybody has a camera, it's on their phone. You have multiple cameras. I got a camera on my phone, I've got an action camera, I got 2 action cameras. Everybody has access to it. So, lawful basis for processing. Vloggers may generally rely on Section 12 of the DPA as a lawful basis for processing, provided that in certain specific instances where sensitive personal data is captured, vloggers need to have a lawful basis. A lawful basis for a YouTuber is not because they want to upload and make money and monetize their videos. That's not a lawful basis. A lawful basis is if a police department has a body camera and they're recording a crime scene or whatever, that's a lawful basis. Transparency and fairness in the scenario where vloggers are recording footage of themselves, driving, biking, whatever, walking down the street in the Philippines, for instance. Capture audio visual information of bystanders or other people. Vloggers shall ensure that the personal data processing activities are done in a fair and lawful manner. Fair and lawful manner, and the fair and lawful manner is based on the local laws of the country, community, village, barangay, city, and in some cases it could be drilled down to your community. Like BGC has laws. You need a permit to vlog in BGC in Manila. If you don't have the permit, you're violating the law. And that's what that sentence means. And a lot of these upscale condominium areas have local laws. You cannot walk around in BGC and just vlog if you don't have a permit. They want to know who's walking around with cameras, so you have to register, you have to get a permit. And if you don't do that, you're not abiding by the law. Generally, and where appropriate in given scenarios, interviewing specific individuals. That actually had happened to me. I was walking down the street here in Cebu in January, and it was the Chinese New Year. I remember it well. I was walking down the street. It's the Chinese New Year. It's 8 o'clock at night, and there was a YouTuber standing on the street. There was a demonstration. There was a Chinese New Year celebration. There were dancers in the street. I went down to watch the dancers in the street at 8 p.m. And a YouTuber walked up to me with his phone in his hand, like this. And he put the phone in my face and he says, "Hi, how are you? What's your name? Where are you from?" I said, "Hello, my name is Tim. Nice to meet you." And after a minute or so, he said, "Oh, by the way, I am broadcasting on YouTube Live." So he puts the camera in my face. And after a minute, he tells me he's doing a YouTube Live. So there are people who do things like that. And that's kind of what this law is trying to prevent. You need to ask permission before you put a camera in somebody's face. So things like that go on. What happens if I didn't want my camera or my face on YouTube? It's too late. He already had me recorded. It was already broadcasting live. Yes, he could go back to YouTube and edit out that portion, but it's too late. He already broadcasted it live. He had the recording on his YouTube channel. He could go back and edit that part out. But anybody watching the live stream saw my face, saw my reaction. And to be honest with you, although I'm a YouTuber, I really didn't like it when he did that to me. It's like, really? You're going to walk up to me, put a camera in my face and say, by the way, you're on a YouTube Live? What? So that's what this law is trying to prevent. Things like that. And things like that are going on every day. And then the law decided, well, if we're going to prevent those types of things, we might as well prevent the data privacy and the facial recognition, because facial recognition is a thing of the future. If you like it or not, in 5 or 10 years, your face is going to be able to be your security guide. It's going to open your bank account. It's going to allow you access to some of the most personal things in your life. And if your face is broadcast around the world on YouTube, people can just download your image, use that, and take your money out of your bank. I'm just using that as an example. But facial recognition is something that it's in its infancy right now, but it is going to be more and more popular as life goes on. Regulating access to personal data collection through, okay, only authorized personnel should have access to the recordings. I'm just going through this. And I'm giving you what my interpretation is. I know people will have their own interpretation. But at the end of the day, my interpretation is biometrics, facial recognition, thumbprints, voice recordings are going to be more widely used to access your personal data. And 10 or 15 years from now, you're going to look back at the Philippines and Circular 2025-01 and say, I'm pretty happy that they implemented that now, because if they didn't, the free world would have my voice sound, they would have my picture. So that's the reason behind all of this. And I know there are YouTubers who are giving advice out there. I'm not going to give advice. I'm going to give you my opinion as to why this law has been implemented. I'm going to leave it at that. And all the vloggers and YouTubers and TikTokers and Facebookers that are recording things, they can make their own mind up whether they're going to continue recording, if they're going to continue to upload, if they're going to blur faces or not. That's up to you. But I am giving you my 2 cents worth as to why I think the laws are coming onto the books. Let me know your opinion in the comments below. I certainly would like to hear what your opinion is. Is it a good law? Is it a bad law? I'm watching YouTubers, and I watched one YouTuber that decided he's leaving the country. He's going to Thailand or wherever. I don't blame him, to be honest with you. I do not blame him, because this is a guideline. It's a broad brush approach. Who knows if it's going to be enforced or not? But who wants to take a chance if they enforce it to the letter? Who wants to take that chance? So some YouTubers are leaving the country. Some YouTubers are continuing as though nothing ever happened. It'll be interesting to see what happens here in the Philippines. What the YouTubers are going to do. What they're going to do. I think some YouTubers are going to change content. They're going to do more in-studio videos. I think some YouTubers are going to continue walking around on the street and act like nothing ever happened, and hope they don't get thrown in Philippines jail or a fine, because they could fine you. And a lot depends on who you record and when you record them, if they have issues with you recording them, and if they want to file a complaint against you. Those are all in play. Not only is the government watching you, but any of the people that you video, if they watch your video and say, hey, that's me on there, I don't like it, they could actually file a suit against you. And what are they going to do? What are they going to ask for? How much are they going to ask for? Are they going to ask that you go to prison? Are they going to ask for 1,000,000 pesos? Nobody knows. And that's why a lot of vloggers are not going to take the risk. And they are going to pack their camera up and leave the Philippines. And I don't blame them. And some people are going to stay. They're going to minimize their vlogging in public. When they do vlog in public, they're going to have to blur out faces, delete voice recordings, and possibly one day you might have to register with the Philippines. And there is a YouTuber I'm watching who is going to get professional legal advice. That will be interesting to see what the local attorneys here in the Philippines will say about this new circular. I'm interested to see what advice they give him. And a lot of my decision is going to be based on what he reports, what his attorney has reported. So for now, I am just going to limit my recording. I'm not going to record faces. And if I catch somebody in there, I'm going to blur it out. That's what I'm going to do, because I don't want to take the risk. I don't want to pay somebody 1,000,000 pesos for a fine, or 50,000 pesos, or worse yet, end up in a Philippine jail. It doesn't look fun. And I'm not sure if the Vitali thing was really what initiated this or not. I think this was going to happen with or without Vitali. And if nobody knows, Vitali is the YouTube streamer, or actually streamer. He was on a different platform, who pulled all kinds of crazy stunts and got himself in trouble. I think even without Vitali, these laws are coming. I think other countries are going to start implementing these laws as technology changes, as biometrics become more and more popular with security, with financial institutions and other things that you can access with your private data. I think more and more countries are going to move toward this type of a law. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with that. But I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think 50 years from now, everybody's going to be accessing their bank accounts with facial recognition or their thumbprint or their voice. I'm already using my voice now as a secondary security backup for my bank. One day, do you think they'll be implementing facial recognition? Most likely. But I don't know if I would go in and 100% blame Vitali for all of this. I think it's just something that's going to come eventually. He may have accelerated the issue here in the Philippines, maybe, but I don't know. So I've been rambling for 36 minutes. Let me know in the chat box below what you all think. But I wanted to provide my 2 cents worth on the popular vlogging issues here in the Philippines. My only advice is to just be careful. Be careful, and when in doubt, don't record. That's my advice. But I appreciate you watching this live stream recording. I do. Data subjects may exercise their rights with due consideration of the rights and freedom of the others in case. Let's just go through this a little bit more. They say that you should also have a warning on your videos, a warning or a disclaimer. So the intent is they want, if somebody is watching your video and you accidentally record them in the background and they see themselves, they want the ability for those individuals, for you to provide them instructions as to what they can do to essentially take the video down. That is part of this law or guideline. So now you're going to have probably locals watching YouTube videos. They're going to see themselves in there and they're going to want to seek. They want to seek, you know, they want you to take it down, or they want something, whatever the law allows. I think it's up to a 50,000 peso fine. So who wants to take the chance that you film someone down on the street and they see it, and then all of a sudden your video, you're showing them instructions on what they can do for retribution, either take the video down or file a complaint or whatever. And if their likeness on your video, if that causes them damage of some sort, they're going to want to seek damages against you. What those damages are, how much they could be, depends on how many people you video. So who wants to take that risk? Raise your hand. Let me know in the chat below. Well, hello, there are 2 more people watching. Thanks for watching my video. Today is my take on the new vlogging laws, guidelines here in the Philippines. My name is Tim. And what you see on your screen is Circular 2025-01, which was released on May 26th. And it is entitled Guidelines on the Processing of Personal Data Collected Using Body-Worn Cameras. And this is somewhat misleading. And I heard a YouTuber the other day indicate that this circular only pertains to body-worn cameras. That's not true. It also pertains to ARDs, which are alternative recording devices, which are anything with essentially a camera or a voice recorder. Your cell phone is considered an ARD. So the subject line here is awfully misleading. It should read guidelines on the processing of personal data collection using body-worn cameras and or ARDs, alternative recording devices. And I think some people are reading this and they are ignoring reading the rest of it. And I urge you to read all of this because it does cover body-worn cameras as well as an alternative recording device, which is a action camera. It is a camera on your phone. It is essentially anything you use to record video or audio. So don't be fooled by this. And that's what we're going through today. Leave a comment in the comments below. You probably will want to rewatch the live stream because I gave you my opinion on it. And the short version of my opinion is this law is put into place to protect privacy data, and the privacy data is essentially defined as your facial image, your voice recording. And I think they're doing that because in the future, a lot of your security will be biometric. It'll be facial recognition, voice recording. Already on my bank account, I have a recording of my voice. They use it as a secondary security check to access my bank account. I think 10 years from now, you're going to see facial recognition being used more widely, more popular. And someday it's going to be a common everyday occurrence. And I think that is one of the reasons they're putting these laws into place. I think these laws are going to be put into place worldwide eventually for those reasons, because private data is eventually going to include your facial recognition, your voice recording, because that information is someday going to be used to access your personal accounts. And my voice recorder is actually being used to verify the security of my bank account today. One day it's going to be facial recognition. And I think these laws are going to be more popular around other parts of the world in the next few years because of that. Some people are blaming Vitali. He may have accelerated that in the Philippines, but I think all countries someday will have laws similar to this because we are in the data information age, and your data, your biometric data is going to be used more and more for security purposes. And nobody wants that broadcast around the world where they could download your voice, your face, and access your bank account. That is my take on it. Let me know. Leave me a comment. Let me know if I'm way off base on that. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think the Philippines is ahead of the curve for those reasons. And I think someday other countries are going to have similar laws. As biometrics become more and more widely used for security and data purposes. What do you all think? So I kind of went through the circular. I didn't go into detail. There's a ton of YouTubers going through the detail of this. Just know that this pertains to more than body-worn cameras. It pertains to anybody that is recording. Here's the definition of an alternative recording device, and that pretty much is everything. It's phones, it's action cameras, it's anything. Not sure why the subject line says body-worn cameras only, but if you read the law, it includes all cameras. And Section 8 is where the vlogging section starts in. They have a special section for vloggers. So I will scroll through that. I do appreciate you joining my live stream today. Is there anything else I want to say about this? There's your approvals. So there you have it. I'm going to end the live stream. Thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing. And feel free to share the live stream with anybody you feel is interested. Take care, everyone.